Good morning. So it's December 12th, and I couldn't stand it. It's supposed to be about 70 degrees today. Figured I needed to go out for a ride. These cold days, I don't care much for. Man, they were all the way across the yellow line. You got to watch these people out here. But I just need to get a good release. It's been a long week with work and other things going on, and I figured I'd get out. We talked about riding to the Redneck Barbecue Lab today, and that kind of fell through. And some folks that I rode with before out of Goldsboro, the Southern Cruisers, which I'm a member of. I haven't really been able to ride with them much, so they were actually leaving Goldsboro and headed down towards Kinston to pick up anybody that wanted to ride. And then they were going to check out this Newbern Harley-Davidson shop that is closing, I think, December 19th. So they were going to check for some deals. So I'm just going down there to do a little bit of fellowship. I ride a Honda, so not really my cup of tea, but I like motorcycles in general. I like people that ride motorcycles. So don't really care to me what you ride. I enjoy it all. Just to start with, for those that are out there in YouTube land, I ask for your prayers. I've got an aunt that's experiencing some real bad stuff from this COVID stuff, and I usually don't like to talk about none of that stuff on my videos, but she's really sick, and we're praying for her daily to see her come home. So for all those out there, it never hurts to have too much prayer. We need more of it in this country today. Please say a little prayer tonight and continue on, and hopefully in my future videos I'll be able to update y'all to let her know that she's home and doing well. So again, we're just out here today. I'm on my Gold Wing. A previous video that I did, I went dark side, so I'm running a car tire on the back, and I'll probably put somewhere in the range of 1,000 to 1,500 miles, I'd say, on different little short trips, and I never pulled a trailer with it, so I don't know if you can see it in the mirror, but I got my Escapade back there. This is one that I bought the end of 2019, and it was more of a project trailer. I got it for a really reasonable price from a local guy here, and it had some custom work done to it to change the shape of it, to kind of give it a better profile to match the bike, and I kind of fell in love with it, and I was willing to take the chance of going behind somebody else's work, which is not always the best thing, which ultimately, as we got into the project, it became apparent that everything wasn't done to my standards for sure, but what we did is we brought it back up to those standards, and before we had it color matched to my bike. I'm riding a 2006 Gold Wing. I think the trailer's a 2007. I'm not 100% sure, but it's an Escapade. I kind of made it my own and put charging stations and stuff like that, and lights on the inside, and changed the wheels out. I went through it from top to bottom, front to back, and I've really enjoyed it so far. I hadn't taken it on the trip. I had a timeout. I think it was called a Dart, and it had the front cooler kind of shroud, kind of angled up in the front. I had it for probably the last 2 years before I got this one. I ended up selling that trailer to give me some project money, but that was a good trailer. I liked it. I pulled it on several 1,000, 1,500 mile trips with some friends of mine, and it done wonderful. The only difference between that one is it was a a torsion axle setup with no shocks, and this one is a independent suspension, independent swing arm suspension with progressive shocks. Most Escapades, I think, from what I've read, a lot of them come with air shocks, but this one, when I got it, it had the progressive springs, which to my knowledge is, I guess, an update that they did because a lot of people were having some issues with with it holding air or blowing the seals or something like that. I can tell you that this trailer here pulls at least 10 times better than the Time Out did, just because of the way the suspension's designed. Of course, these trailers are, I guess, when you buy them new, I looked at them new. I can't afford the new ones. I guess I could, but I don't want to spend quite that much money when you can never buy a camper for what they want new ones. But this is a whole lot, I guess, more expensive trailer, and I guess with more expensive comes a little bit better quality. But overall, the bike's doing really well. Dark-sided pulling the trailer. I've been very pleased in the short, probably 25 miles I've rode it. And I hope to put somewhere in the range of at least 150 miles on it today. It's not going to be a super long ride. I got some family commitments. It's Christmas time, and I think Christy wanted to maybe try to ride out. My daughter, Mackenzie, wanted to try to ride out and see some Christmas lights tonight. So get home in time enough we can have a little bit of an early supper and ride out before the crowds get too bad. So we'll keep on down the road, and once we get here, we'll shoot a little bit more video and kind of bring you to the seat I'm riding in today and let you ride along with my adventures. See you in a little bit. What do we have here? Looks like we got us a wreck or something up here. I see a lot of flashing lights. I don't even see nothing. Must be that little truck right there. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. How y'all doing? And I just seen the first little bit of raindrops. Might be turning around here pretty quick. Last time I rode, I got stuck in the rain. I'm gonna move on though, see how far I can get. See what the weather's gonna do. Weather radar. Not showing anything. That's a pretty neat setup. That feeds right off your phone, but it's a standalone GPS, so you don't have to have, anything that, like Google Maps. Sometimes you won't download the stuff if you don't have it downloaded ahead of time. But I bought that, I think last year. It's a Zumo XT, and it's a great little unit. But you can pop it on, and it'll actually show you your route, where you're going, and it'll give you a radar so that way you can bypass it, depending on your route. So the only bad thing about it I've seen is it doesn't scroll in quite as close as I would like it to. That's as far as it'll scroll in. So here we are, coming in New Bern. Nice little small older town. It's the home of the Tryon Palace. You can Google that and find out more about it. It's a historic landmark. Man, you can tell the temperature. I bet the temperature just dropped 8 degrees coming across this bridge. To the point I feel like I need gloves on. Wow. But there's the waterfront there for New Bern. We're going to come back around. This is the Neuse River. Oriental's that way. Pretty good fishing. I fished Dawson's Creek, which is off to that way, off to the left. we didn't do much. I caught one little perch. I was going after some speckled trout that day, and it rained on us. Me and Kevin Bornhill were out fishing. Rode down to Oriental and get over here in this lane. You can see from the GPS where it just popped off. What I like is it actually shows you the routes through the exits. We got around Nashville on a motorcycle trip, and I'm gonna tell you, if you're not familiar with it, and an old country boy like myself, and there's roads on top of roads on top of roads, kind of like what you see here, but even worse, it's horrible. I can't even process it quick enough to figure out where I'm going. Look, there's a piece of wood in the road. So we're not far from the Harley-Davidson shop coming up here. Don't know if those guys are still going to be here. They may. That's okay. A good day riding, even by yourself, is a great day. From my understanding, a lot of the Harley-Davidson shops, or a few of them that I guess were not producing, Harley-Davidson is trying to clean up and save the bike brand. And this is one of their solutions. I don't know how good of one it is, but only time will tell. There it goes. I see the sign. So we're on the way home now. Went to the Harley-Davidson shop. That's a sad time. That anytime somebody loses their job is never a good thing. And I imagine the stress of everything that's going on this year has been pretty tough on a lot of people already. I couldn't imagine going that. There was a group of motorcycle riders in there, and just to talk about what motorcycle riders are all about. They decided as a group to buy everybody that was working there lunch today because they appreciated their service that they had given them over the years. Most of these guys appeared to be riding Harleys. They had the attire on to make you believe that. But pretty good deals, nothing spectacular, in my side, or in my personal opinion, but of course, I don't own a Harley, and Harleys has always kind of been overpriced for a lot of their items. Been a good day of riding. It's turned out to be a really good warm day. Again, we're in North Carolina, so tonight it'll probably be raining and sleeting. Tomorrow it might be shorts weather, and the day after that it might be snowing. So if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. But I always like to take advantage of these pretty days. Not that I won't ride in the cold, but I prefer to be comfortable without having to bulk up so much. Do have heated gear, and it does a really good job. But that cold wind can make its way in places you didn't even realize it could. But on a little final note, I did get to try out a piece of equipment from my motovlog stuff that I've had for a while, but I hadn't tried it with two cameras. And I don't know if you can see right there on my handlebar. I don't know if I like the location. But it's the GoPro, official GoPro mount. I looked at some of the ones they had on Amazon and ended up deciding that I was going to try to stick with GoPro because I felt like it might work together with everything better. And at least on this trip, it has worked flawlessly. I turn it on, it activates both that camera that's looking back at me and of course the camera that's on my helmet. And that just helps me in post-production. He must be in a hurry. Let him go. But it just helps me in post-production because I use my Sena 10C Pro, which is on the side of my helmet. It's also a camera, but it just doesn't have really good quality video to me. So I like using the GoPro for the video and the Sena 10C for my audio, but I have to line everything up. And this just helps getting at least 2 pieces of video footage if I decide I want to use the forward facing and back facing, and gets those lined up, and then just overlay the audio to that. So hopefully that'll make my job a little easier in post-production, but we'll see. Still enjoying this. It seems like it never ends on how to improve, but you know, what can you say? If you enjoy something, you know, you just well stick with it. That's what you work for, is to be able to have nicer things than what you had before. I'm by no means rich by any stretch of the means in monetary stuff. I am rich in a lot of other things, but with family and everything that goes along with that. But you know, you learning from the folks on YouTube and seeing what's worked for them and what's not worked for them has given me ability to buy things once, whereas, you know, you might have bought something, didn't like it, turned around and bought something else. Now you got 2 things, and one of which that you really don't have a need for anymore. So, but anyway, again, just a quick short video today, and really wanted to talk about my aunt and try to get everybody that I could think of praying for. She's been on my mind lately, and looking forward to when she comes home. And I know her kids and my uncle will be glad to have her back home. But again, just say a prayer for her, and hopefully on my next videos I'll be able to update with some very positive feedback of how it all turned out. Anyway, till next time, thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and enjoy the ride.